Hello, hello. So this is my second attempt at audio. I actually had a new microphone I was really excited about. I tested it. It sounded great. I recorded a 20-minute unboxing video of all this cool art and zines and responding to everything. And something went completely wrong with the sound. So here we go. Here's take two. I'm really rusty. It's been a long time since I've done YouTube. And what I'm saying is I'm flailing my hands around here is basically the same thing. That I had this idea of what it was to make YouTube videos. I set the bar really high for myself, and I just haven't had the capacity to do that lately. But I have a whole bunch of art and zines that have been piling up, fun, happy mail that has been, some of it I haven't even opened since like June. So I thought maybe I would go ahead and do that on camera and I want to show everything off. I'm not being active on social media and Instagram right now. And so I just feel like I want to show people. This first one is from my friend August, and most of them I covered up, or I just didn't want to show the addresses. But this one I wanted to show the envelope because the stamps are so cool. Some of them are actually vintage stamps. The one at the bottom is like the Muse of Gardening and Horticulture. So I had to take the time to find some sticky notes and cover our addresses for that so I could show you the envelope. But yeah, it's a huge pile of art and zines, and some of it I bought and some of it I swapped. And yeah, it's been piling up for months and I haven't had the time to properly enjoy it. So I just wanted to share it with all of you guys. So I'm about to be trying to figure out how to open this envelope. Because it is like a larger envelope that's folded in half, and that kind of confuses me, how to open it with doing the least amount of damage. So first I'm going to pull this piece of tape with flowers off, once I figure out how the best way to get inside and put that to the side so that I can maybe reuse it for something. And then there's a really cute snail mail sticker on the envelope. It's really fun to get stuff in the mail. You know, the internet was fun for a while. And now it's really, I love that we're kind of swinging back to sending things, art, zines, letters, in the mail to each other again. So when August put these up for sale, I ordered all of them. There's some really fun little extras that you can throw in as well. So we have first a mini snail mail zine, which is very appropriate to start with. Then we have a zine about mushrooms, and I'm talking here about how nice and thick the paper is. And these are actually hand sewn binding. Then we have a poetry art zine, and then a zine, or not a zine, but the other one was an art print, and this is a poetry zine, or how to make a zine. I'm trying to, how to make a poetry zine. So yeah, let's move on. Let's see what's next. Figuring out where to kind of, I can't see what I'm recording, so I'm just kind of guessing what might remain in frame. So then this is from an artist who makes art from vintage photographs, and she very kindly sent me this handwritten letter with it, which was really nice. And this is a Patreon situation where you subscribe and you get a new print every month. So these are art prints, and the originals are vintage photographs, and then the words are embroidered and the figures are painted. And I've been a collector of Juliana's for quite some time, so I was excited to see this art mail club come up, and kind of add to my collection of prints of her work. And here I am kind of trying to show some of the details of that. Your dream doesn't, it went too fast for me to read it. But I'll link to everything, to all of these artists, so that you can check out their work and follow them, or buy these things, subscribe if you're interested. I'm just going to pause it here because I accidentally showed the envelope, and I'm going to jump ahead. Just trying not to dox anyone's address. So this is from Oh Happy Danny on Instagram, and she too has a happy mail situation. So I'm struggling to open it here, but it is a trifold zine. And then there is a postcard, and it has all of her digital illustrations on it. There may have been more in this. David was with me when I opened some of these, and he collected some of the pieces. So I'm not sure everything is in its entirety. That's a sticker there. So that, I believe, was the first month of Danny's Happy Meal Club. And I can't remember what I'm saying here. Oh, I probably am just trying to make it look pretty when I spread everything out. So the next one here is actually Mail Blog. And this is from an artist who decided to turn their digital blog into a paper mail blog. And it's completely free. And the inside is written on a typewriter, which of course I love. And I'm pretty sure they use I can't think of the word, but extra, just not recycled materials, but materials that are just kind of like not being used. And then here I have two different mailings from my friend Jocelyn. Oh, and this is actually not Jocelyn's. This is a zine from Mitchell Volk. And it's really cool because it shows, it's really a useful zine. It shows like what the size of type is for fonts. And so we did a little zine swap last year, and that was what he sent me. And this is Jocelyn's like paid art tier. She is an artist. I think that's an original cyanotype. There's a sticker. Here's a print made from the inside of a security envelope, which is a really cool material, recycled material to use. And then here's a more recent mailing, or older, I'm not sure, but I did a separate one. Another moon sticker, a little mini zine. I'm saying I need to actually stick that sticker onto something. I love these handwritten zines with everyone's illustrations and personality and stuff. A postcard, some permission slips, and then a little note from Jocelyn. I really love how so many of us, because I started this as well. I started making zines, which I haven't mentioned on YouTube at all, about a year ago. Instead of my paid tier for my Substack, I switched to zines. And I love how so many of us are doing this right now. It's really fun to get stuff in the mail. This is back from Oh Happy Danny. And this is not a subscription thing. This is just from her shop. I really wanted to support these library banned book stickers. And then I got this zine, which is about practicing micro resistance in conversations. So if someone says something that is a harmful joke or a stereotype, this is kind of some ideas to how to redirect the conversation and make some positive change. And these postcards are from her as well. This is a pretty long video, but I forgot to say that at the beginning. Okay, here is another one. I believe this artist is named Melissa. I'll be sure to link to everyone. She has a Substack, and definitely my kid took some things out of this mailing. There was like a second mini zine and maybe a sticker or something in here. But this is the one I was so excited to subscribe for. I think it's a risograph. And then in the middle, there's this really cool centerfold with monarch butterflies. This summer was our first time successfully growing milkweed. I've tried to plant it before, and it's surprisingly not resilient, at least where we live. And this year we actually succeeded in growing milkweed, and we had a little monarch caterpillar. So that caught my eye, and I really wanted to have a copy of this, of this zine. And let's see what's next. So under that, we have, here I am just trying to make it look pretty again. Next up, we have these postcards. I backed I'm going to go for the postcards. I backed a self-published book project in the UK, and the book came, but it's in the house. I don't have it actually out here while I'm recording. But it came with these lovely postcards. It's from the artist Gaia Redgrave, and it's Rewilding the Artist, Culture of Care. So I'll be sure to link to that. I believe it's I believe it's to do with neurodivergence and taking care of yourself as an artist. And it's a project. Books take a while to come to life, so I backed it a pretty long time ago, and it was really fun to get it. I haven't read it yet, but it looks fantastic. And it came with the postcards, which I totally surprised me. And then this is a zine. Some of these I bought, and some of these I swapped for. And all these little mini, like this, the snail mail is a mini zine. And then these are even tinier. So I don't know what size to call these zines. They're almost like a micro, like almost postage stamp size. And this Zinester sent me many little mini micro zines in exchange for some of mine. And they're all collaged and handwritten, and really thoughtful personal reflections inside. So that was a really fun swap. And then here is another swap from someone on Substack who turned her Substack blog into a printed newsletter. And this is actually kind of the genesis of when I started making zines as well. Last year, I got really tired of writing things and having them behind the paywall. And so I just typed up one of my posts and I was like, hey, does anybody want to get this in the mail? And she's done the same thing. And it's really cool because it's typed on a typewriter and it has like elements of handwriting and collage. And it's actually on like a vintage paper, which I'm kind of curious how she got to feed through the printer, because this kind of paper sometimes gets stuck and jammed. But I'll be sure to link absolutely everyone if you're interested in checking out their work, because there's so many cool artists that are doing this now, that are making zines, that are making art prints, and that are sending them out into the world, that you can actually collect rather than everything living on the internet. This is the Luddite Dispatch, which is by a group. They were high schoolers when they went viral as the Luddite Club. I believe a lot of them are in college now. They were interviewed by the New York Times as being kind of like high schoolers who didn't want to have phones or didn't want to have technology. And they started actually a nonprofit to kind of explore and research and write and bring awareness to the idea of being less reliant on technology. And they have a newsletter now, and I think it was free. You can also support their nonprofit with donations, but I think that their newsletter was available for free. And then this is a sky calendar by a planetarium. So you know how they have those apps where you can open them up and see what stars are in the sky? This is the same thing, but on paper. So this is what's in the sky right now in November. And then I also have December and January. And so they send this out, once a quarter, once every 3 months. And so it's kind of exactly the same thing, but it's old school analog on paper. So what's next? I think we have stickers. These are by a trans artist on Instagram, and the wizard is like a kind of D&D hand-carved linoleum cut figure, and 2 of them say I cast trans joy, and 2 of them say read banned tomes. And I just love the D&D cool wizard vibes of that, so I wanted to support that artist and collect those stickers. And then here I have an open call for diagrams from the Society of Impractical Laborers. I can't remember. There's like a bunch of letters in the official name. I've joined recently. I think it's really cool how this is an open call, but instead of just having it on the website, they made a zine for it. It's not actually due till January. So if you're interested, if you're an artist, the idea is that you make a diagram that shows your creative process. And the whole point of this society is a lot of us who are like putting way more time and energy into something than is actually practical. So I'll be sure to link to this. Right now I'm just exploring like the specific fold of this zine. It was really cool. It's not one that I'm really familiar with, so I am really excited. I've only recently joined. I've collected some of the work by this group, but this will be the first time that I'm making something to submit to participate myself. So I think we're coming close to the end. Okay, yes, I have two more packages that I have never opened. This one has been sitting in my house since June. Um, I halfway know what's inside this one. Um, but I haven't opened it yet because I've been waiting for the time when I could give it its due attention. So these are circle weavings and they are for a collaboration. I am actively seeking circle weavings from neurodivergent people, families, kids. Um, and I want to collect hundreds of these, to be honest. I need so many more, and they're going to be tied together to show the range, the spectrum of neurodivergence and how unique we all are. So you make a circle weaving to represent your neurotype in the way that you experience the world, and then they will all be tied together. And I've been collecting them for 2 years, but I've just, I get a few here and there, but I need many, many, many more to complete my vision. I want it to like fill a whole wall at the gallery. So I think next year, I'm really going to focus on collecting more of these. Right now, I'm showing that you can just make it with like a circle of cardboard, like a cereal box. You could use a paper plate. And I have a tutorial that shows how to do this. It's really simple. It's really quick. You can use absolutely anything. It doesn't have to be yarn. It could even be like scraps of fabric or like plastic bags or anything like that. So if you have any interest at all, next year I'm going to really put a lot of time and energy into trying to promote this project so that I can get some more weavings. I think with everything that's going on in the world right now, we really need some representation from the lived experience of autistic, ADHD, OCD, like all the neurodivergences. So if you're interested in that, I will put the link below. And there was actually something else in that package. So let me just pause. So I'm not sure how I missed this before, but with the weavings, Hannah also sent some of her zines, which these are printable zines available on her Substack about friendship. I think there's a whole post about neuroqueering friendship. And then here's this really cute, spooky ghost. I love that zine. It's also on her Substack. So yeah, I missed that somehow the first time. So here we are back to the shiny silver package that obviously distracted me. And I had completely forgotten what was coming from this artist. And it is, I don't know if this was called an artist book or a zine, but it's like a perfect bound little book about an artist project, Laurel Schultz. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce her name, but I will be sure to link to this as well. I'm pretty sure that's the last thing. And then I just start rambling here at the end. I am talking about how I had this, like, I have always had a bit of perfectionism and high masking of my autistic traits on YouTube. And so I have this idea of like tightly edited, short, succinct, high energy videos, which is how I started on YouTube. And through the years, I've just have less and less energy and time and capacity for editing. It takes a lot of time, which is why this was supposed to be a one-take wonder done in 20 minutes, but now it's taking twice as long because I had to redo the audio. But still, it has very minimal editing. And so I'm just trying to explore how I could show up here on YouTube with the time and capacity that I have as a parent, as a full-time caretaker. I don't have tons and tons of time to sit and make a video by myself and edit it. It's like basically midnight right now for me to even get this one done. It's super simple. And sometimes I'm too tired for this at night. But I would like to explore the possibility of showing up, whether it's in video. A couple months ago, I tried like a ramble podcast like this. But some of these platforms where I have had this kind of perfectionist mindset of like, I want to do a whole in-depth video about my art process, and that's just not happening right now. So I thought I would just kind of show up and do something fun and casual and show some art, hype some other people. And then pretty soon I will be back in the next, I'm not sure how long, this month, hopefully, because actually the book, I think the last video that I put here was probably my crowdfunding project. And that book has now, well, by the time you read this, see this, has or will soon be out in the world. I'm waiting for the last proof to arrive on Monday. And hopefully, knock on wood, everything will be wonderful about it so that I can start fulfilling orders for that. And I've been working on paperback copies, and so I'm sure I'm going to do a little video about that. And again, I have in my mind, like, ideally, I would love to like tell the whole story of how the book came to be and include little pictures and videos and snippets of David as a baby. And I just don't know if I'm going to have the time and energy to track all of those down, or if I just need to do something simple and say, hey, look, thanks so much for your support, everyone who kickstarted it. The book is out now. You can, buy it for a mom you love or a parent you love for Christmas. So that will be soon. I'm not promising I'm back to post on any consistent basis, but I'm dipping my toe in the water, and I just wanted to share all these cool things and say hi, and I will talk to you later.